speech is 5 to 7 minutes, and he is going to build on the concept of how to speak with people who do not share a common viewpoint. Derek?
Every one of us has that how I got into Toastmasters story. For some of us, a friend or coworker brought us to our first meeting. Others did research on how to become a better speaker and lucked into Toastmasters. One person in this audience was forced to join Toastmasters because of her job. Me, I did none of those things. My first real exposure to Toastmasters, my wife, girlfriend at the time, asked me to accompany her to the 2018 District 48 Toastmasters Conference. No, I could not just sup at the Toastmasters tap. I had to go full-on fire hose. In many ways, that experience was analogous to visiting a Commonwealth nation. We all spoke English, but they used it differently. There were all these figures of speech, language shortcuts, verbal touchstones that I couldn't comprehend. And why was the featured speaker joking about everything taking 5 to 7 minutes? Needless to say, I discovered the meaning of all those concepts once I was indoctrinated into the Toastmasters culture. I don't use that term indoctrinate in a derogatory sense. It's what good institutions are supposed to do. They indoctrinate their members to mold them to become better people through skills and concepts. In order to accomplish this, they are going to need to develop their own jargon, their own language shortcuts, their own verbal touchstones to quickly convey concepts and ideas. If I say to this group, I am doing a 5 to 7 non-manual speech to improve my audience awareness and speech crafting skills, all of my fellow Toastmasters know exactly what I mean. Similarly, the myriad of subcultures that make up the tapestry of our society also use their own specified jargon, language shortcuts, and verbal touchstones. I was talking to my fellow browncoat last night, and when I said that I told my boss she couldn't take the sky from me, he thought that was shiny. Most of you could follow the gist of that statement, but not the emotional underpinnings of those words and phrases. Unless you have marinated in those 13 glorious episodes, one full motion picture and all the associated lore of the cult hit Firefly, you cannot understand the righteous defiance of telling somebody that they can't take the sky from you. Neither did my boss, which is probably why I didn't have to go talk to HR. Yet, this example illuminates a challenge for us as communicators. A few weeks ago, Kelly was up here on this stage explaining concepts on how to discuss difficult topics with others. As she was speaking, a familiar concern started percolating in my mind. What if I'm having trouble talking to somebody because I can't understand how they're using their jargon, their language shortcuts, their verbal touchstones? This isn't an unusual concern for mine. It isn't even an original question. I've read and listened to public intellectuals grappling with this issue as they discuss matters of the day. Yet it is personal to me, both my communication as a Toastmaster as well as a writer. So, to use a language shortcut, what is my call to action? We as speakers must understand that the tapestry of our shared culture is thinner than it has been in previous years. We can no longer make the same assumptions with our audience that we could previously. We need to be flexible and be willing to change our language even in the middle of a speech to get that emotional impact. Yet, how do we learn that? This is where also as Toastmasters, we need to help one another as being effective evaluators. We need to let them know when their language is falling flat. As Toastmasters, we work very hard not to critique the message, and I am not asking for us to do that, but letting the speakers know that how they said something does not work for you helps mold them into being better speakers. This is what we vowed when we joined this fine institution. Moreover, this is what we owe each other as good friends. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.